The closest I get to Coke is I'll have an espresso martini with tequila, not coffee.
Ooh.
I would strongly recommend.
Yeah.
One of those, like 7 in the evening, if you've had a long day and you're doing something social in the evening and you go, wow, I'm exhausted. I want to be in bed, really. One of those.
What are you calling that?
Huh?
It's an espresso martini with, have you given it a name?
4 a.m. anxiety is the unofficial name.
Here we are with Jimmy Carr.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I need no introduction, but that's just my ego talking.
Well, we could do your old gag.
What?
Jimmy Carr.
Jamaica.
I love that joke.
Yeah, it's a good joke. And my name sounds like my name in a Jamaican accent. That is the beginning and the end of that joke.
I think that was the first joke I saw you tell. Really? In 98 at the So You Think Funny. 99, no less.
99, yeah, in Edinburgh we met, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, very fun. Very fun time. I kind of feel like we've come in at exactly the right time. I kind of feel like comedy's going through something very special at the moment.
Yeah.
Like the last 20 years, it's become something that, like, in the way that music had its moment and movies really in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're sort of the heirs apparent, like the guys that came, the George Carlins and the Billy Connollys and the Richard Pryors. It feels like they were John the Baptist. It feels like they sort of laid this framework for, oh, there's a new language and you can think like this.
Yeah.
My new theory is comedy, if we get this right, and it's our responsibility as comics, right? If we get this right the next 20 years, it should be in 20 years' time that people talk about their kids and they go, oh, what's he doing after school? He's got football on a Tuesday. He does music on a Wednesday. He does stand-up on a Friday. Oof. I love the idea that it's a different way of thinking. It's a medium. What's it about? It's about finding your voice. Well, that's important for everyone. Yeah. And it's about finding a way to communicate what's odd about life.
That's the majesty of stand-up. That laughter is a confirmation that you're not insane. When you tell a joke and you've made an observation about the world and you say it in front of strangers and they laugh, it's that lovely way of going, I knew I wasn't mad.
Yeah. And it's the seeds of freedom. Because it's,
that's a great title for you. It's Jimmy Carr's The Seeds of Freedom.
But it's that, yeah, it'd be a great book. It's the idea that you go, it's questioning. It's constantly questioning. And I kind of feel like we've lost that a bit. I feel like it used to, because we live in a very weird time politically, where it's no longer about opinions. People are arguing about facts. And that's very dangerous. And I think comedy is constantly, we're 2 years ahead of the curve on everything. Yeah. We're questioning things ahead of time. And now I think that's whether you're doing edgy stuff, whatever, whatever you think edgy is. Yeah. It's not about that. It's really about the whole thing is questioning. Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld is edgy to me because he's questioning, why is toothpaste like that? What's going on? What's going on with the chopsticks in China? They've seen the knife and the fork. Yeah. All of that stuff is like it's questioning the reality that we're faced with.
Yeah, and but it's such, and the great thing about stand-up is really anyone can do it because it's
for fuck's sake.
But you can. But
but
Jimmy, you just
couple of chances.
You wanted
in 20 years' time.
20 years. Fair
I've
enough.
Still got bills to pay.
I think you're all right.
But no, you know what I mean. That thing of I absolutely agree. Like the barriers to entry are nothing.
Yeah, and it's sort of that thing where it's just about. There's a brilliant book. By who's the guy that produced the Jay-Z 99 Problems? Big Rick Rubin. It's a fantastic book about creativity.
Yeah, he's extraordinary.
And the sort of tenet of it is just follow your nose. Just be aware and try and listen to those little voices that sort of drop into your head. And now with like an iPhone or whatever, you can just have this little thought and you write in your phone and then you get back on your desk. That moment of sitting and trying to figure out the funny, I absolutely love that. In a way I never used to when I was a kid. I used to like writing on stage, whereas now, do you know what I mean? Trying to unravel your own madness. I love it.
I think that thing about, as well, the feedback loop is very pleasing with comedy of like, it's making friends with failure, stand-up.
Right.
It's like we fail. So I've written so many more jokes that don't work than anyone listening to this.
Yes.
So many more.
Oh, yeah.
Like almost, I mean, it's comical how many jokes I've written that don't work at all. Just like a stony silence, nothing.
I've often thought it'd be really great to see comedians' partners have to do the hour that didn't work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they've heard it. Like, my wife's heard it all, mate.
Who did that? Dice Clay did that. Dice Clay, when he was at the absolute height of his... Have you not heard this?
I've heard.
So Dice Clay, when he did
the day that laughter died.
Yeah, he did like 5 nights at the Madison Square Gardens, and then on the way home he dropped into a club at like 12:30. There's 6 people in the crowd, and he does a set where he dies, and they put it out.
Yeah, I know. And
the day the laughter died.
And isn't there a bit where he says something? He kind of goes, "Yeah, so I've got this orange juice," and doesn't the guy in the front row go, "Did it suck your cock?" Like he's just
withering,
properly stiffing.
Yeah. No, he's quite something.
Right, let's crack on. So, what's the first thing you're going to pop in your Wonderbox?
First thing,
tennis
scoreboard.
A tennis scoreboard.
The scoreboard. I think the scoring in tennis is one of the great. It's genius.
15, 30, 40.
Based on a clock originally.
Right.
Based on the French.
Okay.
So it was like 15, 30. I don't know what happened with the 45 versus 40. This is the French. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then ouf was egg for love. It's just a great system. The game's kind of never over until it's over. Yeah. It's just the best scoring system in sport. I can't understand. Like, I don't really get football. Like,
right.
You play for 90 minutes. All right. Well, don't count up to 90. Count down. Some sense of entertainment here, people.
What are you talking about?
Why would they count up to... Why, if it's 90 minutes, why wouldn't you count down? That's insanity. That's bad...
Okay, but you can do that yourself. And you could watch the game and count down.
You could, but that's not how they do it. Well, in American sports, they count down and a buzzer goes off. That's exciting. And and the last minute, and then R1, they go 90 minutes, but we're going to play for a little bit longer.
But the thing is, I was talking about this the other day. It's if you go watch a basketball game, you've got like unbelievable athletes, and Americans can't leave it. So there's some guy in the corner of the keyboard, and they're shooting t-shirts. Just let him be a genius. It's too overstimulated. Whereas the great thing about football, you watch them, and then somebody sings a song about the player's wife, and
sure,
and then
they make their own fun in the interval, and they're great.
But that's what I mean. But
they shout at Jamie Redknapp on the pitch or some such. It's craziness.
Yeah,
I think the tennis system of scoring is. I mean, for me as well, it's. I think your sort of team sports or your individual sports.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I think you've got like a thing of, and maybe it's when you were a kid and what you grew up. Kind of like, I didn't really do much sports as a kid. I started tennis very late in life.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. I love that idea of kind of, because it is flow state, even if you're not good at sport, and I'm not very sporty, but that thing of like doing something once a week where you're in a flow state. We're very lucky our jobs are kind of flow state. So by flow state, I mean you kind of lose track of time. And that tends to be where you're happiest in life.
Yes.
Where you go, well, I know I played for an hour, but I wasn't really aware of it. I was just in the moment trying to think of that thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like your conscious mind is so busy that your subconscious can just kind of relax. And I think tennis for me kind of fulfills that in terms of it's joyful, and I don't really care about the score, but I love the scoring system.
Yeah.
And I love the game. I like watching it. I like playing it.
So, because I've often thought, like, when you try and do mindfulness and you're told to be in the now, it's very hard. Whereas, like you say, if you play sport, I mean, exactly the same with like football, that, as soon as you get the ball, you're not thinking about a joke you've got to do. You're not thinking about a TV show. You're not thinking about tours and shopping or your wife or whatever. You're just kind of right, he's there, I'll go there. And it's this lovely...
Well, that thing of like going, there's a definition of anxiety, that anxiety is your mind problem solving for the future.
Right.
And that we tend to be more anxious in this day and age because our immediate problems have been taken care of.
Right.
In large part. So, food and shelter in the Maslow hierarchy of needs.
Self-actualization.
So the idea that you go in that moment when you're busy with a ball and he's coming towards you and you've got to get past him or you've got to hit that forehand correctly and in the sweet spot of the racket and you're thinking about 3 things, you can't be thinking about the future. You're in that moment because you've got a problem right now.
So what is it? What's tennis? What was specifically the scoreboard? Does that just remind you of time just billowing past?
Yeah, just the idea of going. It seems like time very well spent in that kind of flow state, and I love the idea of I like watching it as well. I like watching because you can watch kind of the greats, and you can kind of go. Well, it's a bit like I think people talk about it with golf. Like you could have one good shot during the day, one backhand down the line that you just go, that was worth coming out for.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Are you a grunter?
Am I a grunter?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Yeah, but back to tennis.
But are you
No.
double backhand? I imagine
The backhand. I mean, at the moment, a gracious. I mean, listen. If you haven't got great eyesight, lose the glasses.
Yeah.
Federer. You'd think it was Federer.
Yeah,
From a distance.
But you're it's very odd picturing you. I can't imagine anyone. Like, I see you and I see you in a suit. I see you telling jokes. I remember seeing you in a pair of swimming shorts in Montreal and it freaked me out. Because I'm just
what are you doing in my bedroom at 4 in the morning?
Exactly. I was like, this is not a swimming pool. But,
who are they?
But it was... I'm not saying there was a problem with it. It was all fine, but you're just one of those guys you don't anticipate seeing your nipples. And I'm not saying your nipples are peculiar, they're lovely, but I'm imagining you...
I could see that. I think
when you wear... what do you wear for tennis? I imagine it's proper old school, Fred Perry, everything's neat.
No, just like... I mean, it's always tennis kits, always very matchy.
Yeah.
Very matchy. No, I kind of get that thing, though, where you've got your perception of what someone is is locked in. Like, as soon as the public has made a decision, or even your friends have made a decision about who you are and what you're about, it's like, you're not going to change their mind.
Yeah.
Because if you, beyond a certain age, that's why I think it's really healthy to kind of move schools when you're a kid, because you can sort of reinvent yourself fully. Or why do people go traveling? Because you get to decide who you are. If you go on your own, you get to decide who you are when you get there.
And that's the majesty of stand-up, really, is that nobody knows who you are until you go on stage, and then you can be whatever you want to be.
It's interesting, that thing as well. Most comics that I know, when they started, sort of didn't tell anyone, or didn't tell many people, just kind of went...
Why would you possibly risk it? Imagine inviting your mates to your first ever gig, because, like you say, there's no
maybe it's the other way around. Maybe anyone that did that never did a second gig.
Yeah. But because how can you possibly convince them that you're the comedian Jimmy Carr as opposed to us, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
What's he doing?
Yeah, exactly. It's that. Whereas
I still think my mates from school all think, what?
Right.
Why would anyone pay good money to see this? He never fucking shuts up. Why would you go and see him?
But do they come and watch you?
Yeah, but I mean, but rarely. I mean, not as much as you would think. I think if I had a friend that was gigging, I would be ligging. I would be, I'll come.
Yeah, my brother's like that. My brother comes to everything just because he enjoys the hang.
Yeah.
What's so incredible about my brother, he doesn't envy it, he doesn't want to do it. He just likes being in the world. He kind of likes, we'll go to a nice restaurant, go to a nice show, have a drink. He likes getting his bonus points. Whenever we stay in like a Marriott hotel, because my brother's got a Marriott card.
Marriott hotel?
He'll go, are you in Portsmouth? I go, yeah. He goes, you staying in the Rot? It's what he calls them. And I go, yeah, fine. So we gave him... The Rot. So we gave him all
like the Ibis is the Abyss.
Yeah. But
touring comic.
We gave him all our bonus points for everyone that stayed there.
Right.
And bumped him up to gold. Absolutely like a pig in shit, just walking around the buffet like he ran the place. It was fantastic. But it's so cool having a brother that kind of just wants to come along for the hang. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a weird thing as well, because I'm not a big entourage guy. I really like time alone. I really like that thing of going... You're in the gig and I tend not to, I don't have a support. I like to because that's kind of where I get the work done.
Right.
I get the work done on the road, on the way to the gig, on the way home from the gig. It's like totally peaceful. There's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
The modern world is so full of distractions. So that thing of like train rides and the idea of kind of, driving back late at night, just, you've got time to think.
That's so interesting, because whenever I see you, you throw, notorious, fantastic big parties. I think of you as very much a people person. But yeah, that makes total sense, that you kind of then sort of compartmentalize your time. So you're like, right, party's there, gig there, this is me.
Yeah, I think it's all things in moderation, whatever you... I mean, a big party's fun, but it's you can't be doing that the whole time.
Absolutely. What's the second thing?
Second thing. Okay, second thing, what have we got? Unsurprisingly, I think, a coffee machine.
Well, you're notorious.
I mean, I don't know about notorious, but I love coffee. I've always liked coffee. I was sort of given coffee by my mother when I was about maybe 3, I guess.
Wow.
My first coffee. She used to send us for an afternoon rest, but she would give me a nice milky coffee beforehand.
Right.
Because, crazy.
Yeah.
And then I've always liked it. I've always kind of, and I suppose what it represents to me, a nice coffee machine, is it's partly, it's a paradox, because it's relaxation and sitting with friends and having a coffee and the ritual of that, and a chat and a coffee, great. And it's also, it's kind of liquid agency. It's right, we're getting something, we're up in the morning, we're doing something, let's have a coffee, let's go.
Right.
Great.
So you like the setting of it. You like, so as soon as you have your sip, that's you feel like you're putting the right fuel in. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think it's the it's it's a little bit. I mean, listen, in another world it would be I'll put cocaine in there, but it's like I don't do anything. So it's like the closest I get to cocaine is I'll have an espresso martini with tequila, not coffee.
Ooh.
I would strongly recommend.
Yeah.
One of those, like 7 in the evening, if you've had a long day and you're doing something social in the evening and you go, wow, I'm exhausted. I want to be in bed, really. One of those.
What are you calling that?
Huh?
It's an espresso martini with, have you given it a name?
4 a.m. anxiety is the unofficial name. I'd like some anxiety about 4 a.m., please. I'd like to feel super relaxed for the next sort of 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then I would like all the anxiety to come crashing in.
Yeah.
What?
My brother had 8 of those once, espresso martinis.
Has he slept since?
No, in Dubai, and he had the temerity to blame his guts the next morning on a bad bit of sushi.
Yeah.
But
wow.
8
it was
shots.
I think it was the espresso martini. It's apparently invented at the Groucho in London. It was I think it was, well, legend has it was Kate Moss that came in from the Red Eye from New York and said, I need something to wake me up and fuck me up. And the old bartender there, who's no longer with us, sadly, rustled up one of those. And that was kind of it's really an Irish coffee, I suppose, but it's like the reinvention of it and the coffee beans on top and the whole thing.
But that's a real window into the things you can say if you're magnetically attractive. If Dean Gaffney went into the Groucho and said, I need someone to wake me up and fuck me up, they'd kick him out.
Someone would have called his dealer.
But nobody's spending time kind of like...
Well, there's a theory on that, isn't there? There's a theory on... how attractive. Some people are so beautiful that they have genetic celebrity is the term.
Right.
I think it was coined by Warren Farrell,
right,
who wrote that kind of the myth of male power, which I mean, it's like there's a lot of nonsense talked. But it's a really interesting sort of theory on like there's a level of like we only see the world through our eyes. We only have our experience of the world. So we sort of never know what it's like. So your supermodels never see what it's like.
Yes.
To be like they don't know what it's like to lift something up into the overhead compartment. It's never happened.
Yeah, exactly. But
why would I?
But it's just that thing. Imagine being able to go into a bar and say, I need someone to wake me up and fuck me up, and someone go, okay.
We'll think of something.
I'll find something. I'll invent an incredible cocktail. But like, if that's you or me, they'll just kind of go, there's a bit of coffee, there's a bit of Coke.
Well, I suppose it's that thing of it's...
Do you want me to shoot up your arsehole?
It's charisma, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, a great definition of charisma was you want to say yes before they've asked the question.
Right.
They just walk in the room and you go, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of think those two things are really... I mean, I wrote about this. I think it's a really interesting thing, like charm versus charisma.
Yeah.
As like... so the example I gave was like Donald Trump, very charismatic. You come to me. Obama, very charming. Head to the side. I come to you. I'll explain what the thing is. He's speech pattern, the whole thing. It's very charm. Angelina Jolie, very charismatic. Jennifer Aniston, very charming. It's like they're slightly different things, and knowing what you are, I think, is quite important. I think knowing what's your gift.
So where do you stand?
100% charisma, 0 charm. I'm not. There's a reason I'm not on ITV1 hosting something. I'm not. I've got no warmth. That's fine. It's okay. We're friends. You don't need to go. Oh, he just said something true about himself that seems a bit harsh.
Oh no. But I would say you're warm. You've got empathy. No, but we've had lots of like very full on chats. That's what's surprising about you.
Yeah, but it is surprising. So,
yeah.
So the fact that I'm a nice guy is quite a well kept secret. I think if you've seen my stage persona, you go, this guy's got the jokes, and that'll do.
Yeah. True. But that's what's so fascinating when you spend time. I remember when my dad met you in Australia. Do you remember that? And went,
oh yeah,
he's lovely. But they were all like really worried because they thought you were just going to rock up and start rinsing people, and you were asking them about their day. And you could see they're all kind of like going, right, any second, here comes the twist. You know, it's
right.
I remember that years ago, Frankie doing a joke where he said on Mock the Week, he said his daughter had said, Daddy, what do you love the most in the world? And Frankie said, I love you. And he said, what do you love? And his daughter went, chips. And it did fine. And Frankie was going, why doesn't it work? And I was like, because the audience don't think you've finished. Yes. You maniac. They're worried, where's that chip going?
Where's that chip going? That kid's still alive.
Yeah.
But it is that thing of like what people have booked. Like I kind of heard this thing recently and I really liked it, the idea of what the world has ordered.
Right.
So for us, the world ordered a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we do is a sideshow.
Yes.
Like presenting TV shows, great. Doing a podcast, great. Bit of acting here and there, bit of writing. All of the other stuff is fun as long as it doesn't get in the way of the thing that we do.
Absolutely.
Like because sometimes I think people get slightly the opportunity that show business affords. Like I sort of think we're not really in show business. We're showbiz adjacent.
Yeah, and you have to be, because you have to sort of see that it's silly, and you have to be able to joke about. Like, there's a bizarre moment on the One Show yesterday, where you know when you go on the One Show, it's that strange thing where it's like.
I think I'm currently. Am I banned from the One Show? Maybe.
But it's like you're having to talk.
I'm the reason you have to sign that form saying I won't swear on the show. I think.
Is that right?
Yeah, or I'm responsible for everything I say.
But why? Why do we
have me on?
But why do we have this thing where we have to talk in that way? Like Gabby Logan told this great story. There was her. She was doing karaoke of Texas. She was brilliant, really great. And we were all, that was very good, well done. And you're having that sort of odd, sort of jolly hockey stick story. And it's like you're meeting the in-laws for the first time. You know, like Lee Evans used to have that joke. How are you? Very well. Cup of tea? Yes, please. You know, it's this very weird. And then the camera stopped. And then Gabby Logan went, oh, Christ. When I did that for Stars in Their Eyes, I had to do 2 takes because after the first one, this lady came over and went, "That was really great, that, Gabby. Really enjoyed it. We're going to have to do it again because your wig tilted slightly and you look like Myra Hindley." And it was so funny.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how people talk.
Yeah.
But isn't it weird that in TV at the minute, there's this weird sort of odd, we better not be ourselves.
Well, why are podcasts huge at the moment?
Exactly.
Because authenticity, I think. It's weird the way that our culture's gone, because we've gone no attention span. People write a lot about the no attention span.
Yeah.
Right? The idea, everyone's on TikTok now, the kids are looking at Instagram and they're instant, you can't hold their attention. And there's that. There's also podcasts that are 3.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And Game of Thrones that's 60 hours long with like character arcs that Dostoevsky wouldn't be embarrassed about. Like it's kind of in both directions. It's very extreme the way things have gone. I think that thing about the authenticity though, is that not why people want to come out and see stand-up?
Absolutely.
Because although everything I say on stage is a joke, a lie, if you will, comedians leak. There's kind of a truth to it.
Yeah.
There's something that's it feels very authentic.
Yeah, and there's just kind of fun in the air, and it's just, at its best, it's just a room where you could just lose yourself and just howl with laughter, and then you just bounce on with the rest of your day.
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, I suppose to stand up that thing of it's the perfect drug mix.
Yeah.
Because it's the serotonin of happiness.
Yeah.
When you're laughing, but it's also the dopamine hit. The dopamine hit of not quite knowing. I know there's going to be a joke. Where's the joke? Where's it coming? Where's the punchline? What's the that thing of like, not to get in the weeds of stand up, but if you do 3 pullback reveals in a row, it's a law of diminishing returns. You have to mix up the structure and types of jokes you're telling because people have to not quite expect where the punchline is.
And here's a question. The last time we spoke about stand-up, you were sort of saying you were trying to do more like long-form stuff. Have you started doing that, or are you still...
Yeah, no, I've done... I mean, longer form for me is like going... maybe I do 4 punchlines a minute, so if I do sort of 2 minutes and it's a big line at the end, that builds a lot. Because it is also about the same thing with that Frankie story. It's about what came before.
Yeah.
So you really like, if there's a pause at one of my shows and it's 4 beats, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's like, whereas the other people are more lugubrious and that would be nothing. But yeah, trying to sort of switch it up. Trying to write a book about jokes at the moment.
Oh, great.
Trying to write a book for other comics. I thought that'd be nice to leave something,
right? To
sort of go, comedy rots. There's no legacy. But I think what I know about writing jokes and how to structure and kind of, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants. We've all kind of, but I think there's a weird thing where there's a superstition around comedy, where funny stuff just comes to me, as opposed to actually, but if you knew the structure and you could sort of see what you're doing there, because everyone's writing jokes. It's just that some people don't want to acknowledge the structure. It's like musicians that don't know how to read music. I'd like to get the music.
I often think as well, it's like stand-up's so visual. Like you'll see something or you'll think something, and you almost see the joke in a cartoon way, and it just goes blip blip blip, and then the job is to take that visual, find the words that communicate the visual joke that we've seen instantly. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, and then what's the perfect word?
You're directing the movie in their mind. Yeah. No, it's a very good way to look at it, I think.
What's the next thing?
The next thing
in your Wonderbox.
Suit.
A suit.
Perfect suit. A perfect suit. I mean, I love a suit. It's the perfect piece of clothing.
Right.
And it's kind of, and there's kind of a never-ending kind of quest for the perfect suit.
So you would say a suit is the perfect clothing. Do you not feel like, I always feel very kind of constricted in a suit? And I've got a nice one. I got one from, who's that?
One?
Yeah.
You got one suit?
Yeah.
Wow. And did you get off? You got off, did you?
I got off.
The court appearance thing.
No, I had to wear it for my wedding. But you can't rock up with shorts. But see, I would say in terms of perfect clothing, shorts, a nice pair of like Adidas, loose fitting
shorts.
That's perfect. Just whacking them on, you don't have to put a top on.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay. Well, I mean, agree to disagree. Let's not fall out over this. But no, I like I like the whole experience of going to see, Luke at Tom Sweeney and getting it all.
Tom Sweeney,
he's the best. But going in, getting it fitted, having it made, getting it done, and then putting it on specifically for work, but even for like taking my girl out, the idea, dressing up for that, and feeling okay, we're doing something nice. Let's go. It's a weird thing where it's kind of gone from our culture. Liverpool's got a little bit of it left. Liverpool on a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
On a Saturday, people dress up.
Yep.
And you go to the gig and you look out and you go, God, people look great. Everyone's dressed up.
Yeah.
And it's a way of kind of showing each other, how much you mean. It's another way of communicating kind of affection. I think you kind of show up, and I think that for me, showing up in a suit on stage, I'm thinking I'm wearing ties on stage now because I'm kind of going, I want people to feel like, this guy's at work. This guy's working. He's working for us.
Yeah.
Great.
No, I
like communicates something. It's like the non-verbal of it, of going, he's a professional.
He's putting effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all relax.
But then if I wore a suit on stage, it just doesn't, I would look like a championship footballer or like an estate agent that's going to try and bang your wife.
Well, at some stage you have to stop dressing like a toddler, but I don't know when it is.
But again, to go back to authenticity, that's you. That's your authentic self.
Yeah.
Wearing a suit, it fits. It looks. You look great. Whereas I look like I'm pretending to be I'm pretending to be myself.
But isn't that interesting? The performative nature of that. Of like everyone's got. I read that brilliant Will Storr book, Status Game.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, and everyone's playing a status game. Everyone's like signaling to someone else.
Yes.
You wear a suit, you're in that game. Okay, we'll go to this guy, get your suit made. I like buying British. I've always kind of got this thing for like buying something that was made here by people. I don't mind if it costs slightly more. It's like that thing of going, I want it to be made here. I want my shoes to be from Northampton.
Right.
I want my suit to be but that thing of like going, I want someone to I play Northampton. Someone's buying a ticket with that money. Great.
Yeah.
But that thing of like, it's where you're from. It's like, it's nice. And I feel like it's very authentically me. But then you're shorts and a t-shirt and you go, but that thing of going, it's very interesting that where do we find that? In our probably when we first met, I was a little bit older. I was like mid-20s.
Yeah.
But that thing of really sort of defining who we are.
Yes. Yeah, and it was like, I remember when I first started doing stand-up, I was 18. I used to have like kind of longer hair and like kind of curtains. And I remember thinking I should cut them. It should be shorter because who wants to see some twat on stage with kind of curtains? Kind of, all right. But so I was thinking, right, I need to make myself look less young.
It's a visual medium. I mean, I don't want to mention any names, but I can think of a couple of stand-ups that are great. And they never looked good on stage.
Yeah.
And all they kind of needed was a stylist, I thought.
Right. That's interesting.
The thing of like the look being absolutely perfect. Well, sort of like Billy Connolly's a really good example of someone that just walks on stage, the beard and the hair and you go, yeah, of course.
But then
of course.
When Billy Connolly was younger, he used to wear like banana shoes and kind of like leggings and kind of a bit of a cape. So he had his kind of like sort of like Fielding-esque. Like some of the stuff he wore early on when he was singing, but it's
big banana boots.
But he's doing that brilliant bit about a Glasgow drunk. He's wearing banana shoes. Yeah, it's really, it's funny, isn't it? It's like
what's interesting where he came from, where that thing of like you go, how new is stand-up comedy compared to music has been played for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. People come to see one guy on stage talk for 2 hours.
Yeah,
new.
Pretty
new.
When did that start?
Well, the comedian as headliner. I mean, really. I think you could sort of trace it back to George Carlin in the States.
Yeah.
And
Lenny Bruce.
Well, Lenny Bruce was a little bit before, but as a headliner in theatres, maybe.
But he would headline nightclubs.
He would play nightclubs.
Yeah.
and maybe headline, but it wasn't like it didn't become a huge thing.
Right.
You know, it was the Playboy clubs and things. There's a great book, Comedians, that gives you sort of the full, takes it from sort of music hall on through.
Yeah.
There's never a first. There's never a first anything.
Right.
But I think in terms of going, when it became something that people were very interested in seeing in the masses, like huge numbers of people, it's pretty recent. It's like, and then it went up a gear with, Eddie Murphy doing the first kind of arena tour. And then kind of no one else did an arena tour for a year. It was Steve Martin, then it was Eddie, then it was, and that was in the States. So we were just hearing about that.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? That you sort of think all the kind of, someone like Billy Connolly never played arenas, which is kind of mad, given that he's, the greatest. But it's sort of like he was doing the Albert Hall and he was playing like the Hammersmith Apollo, the Odeon, what it's called there. But it's so odd now that you get to think, God, there's comics that are kind of playing arenas.
Well, it's interesting, but have you not noticed the last year in music? It has changed.
In what
music,
respect?
Post-pandemic, they've gone from arenas to stadiums.
Yes.
Everyone just leveled up. Everyone, arenas? No, we do stadiums.
Right, yeah.
So people don't do 4 nights at the O2 anymore. They play Wembley or they play Twickenham or something. It's kind of, I think maybe it's a post-COVID thing of like people wanting to go out and feel part of something because we spend our lives on our screens and we've never been more connected and more alienated. And that thing of like being part of a crowd and laughing, and the reason I love kind of comedy shows is you laugh so much more live. Watching it back is never the same.
Yeah, I went up to the Edinburgh Festival recently. It was lovely being in a crowd again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that feeling of just sort of watching a comic and just feeling being in the audience is amazing. Because like you say, if you just watch a special on telly, you kind of detach from it. You're kind of on your phone, whatever.
That's my theory is one of the other things I was going to put in the Wonderbox was the Christmas Radio Times.
Oh, okay.
As an object that I adore. Every year it comes,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of holding on. I mean, apparently they're turning off TV in 2030.
Right.
It's going to turn it off. It'll all be digital. It'll be an app.
Okay.
But the telly at Christmas is so special. And why is it special? Same reason live comedy's special. You watch it together.
Yes.
The rest of the year, TV's a solitary activity or sort of goggle box style with the other half on the sofa.
Yeah.
The whole family watches it.
Yeah.
Why is the Christmas Only Fools and Horses the best one? Well, because we all watched it together and we laughed, because what people forget about stand-up is, it's performative. Not just for me. The audience are performing too. Being in an audience is performative. If you've ever been to a music show, no one screams like, how are we all doing? Yeah. No, you've never asked someone in a coffee shop, how you doing? Yeah. It's the whole thing is kind of a performance.
Yeah.
And people enjoy that performance. Even laughter is like, to an extent, people are laughing, they found it funny, that's the trigger. And then they're allowing themselves and they're displaying that they got the thing and they got it early. And
what were those, can you remember the things that you would watch as a family at Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it would be. I mean, things like Blackadder would have been something that would have been, kind of everyone would acknowledge was kind of brilliant.
Yeah.
Kind of universally liked, and it was a different thing when you had to get in. If you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah.
That was kind of special.
Yes, that kind of running home because it starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting
I feel
in from
like
swimming.
I feel like that thing of. It meant more because it was harder to get.
Yes.
And there's really something to that as well. One of the other things I would put in the Wonderbox is record stores. You buy the record, you get it home, you got to turn it over every 22 minutes, or whatever it is.
Are you still a vinyl guy then?
I like vinyl. Vinyl. I mean, I don't use it as much as I should.
Yeah.
Music has become like a scented candle.
Yeah.
It's a music. This is a great song. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I had to say that the other day in my garden. It's great music on. I'm like, what's this? It's great. Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. I have to look. I don't know. I know it's great. It's been on all summer, but I used to know who the photographer was for the sleeve.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny that, isn't it?
I put more in and I got more out.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out a way to put more in.
Can you remember the first song that gave you that hit when you were a kid? Did you used to listen to the radio on a Sunday?
We used to go and buy records from the Slough Record Centre on the Farnham Road with
Yeah.
my mum on a Monday after school.
Right.
Because the records came out on the Monday.
Wow.
So we'd go and the guys in the store knew us, and we'd play records in the store, and that's good. And we'd buy like 5 or 6 records. Like I'd get one, my brother would get one, mum would get one, and we'd.
So your mum's a big music fan
and
as
we
well?
would play records and dance around. But there's a lot of dancing around the house, so it was a big thing to kind of play music and and to pick what your thing was.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was kind of the beginning of that thing where kind of a theme through this is identity.
Yes.
And that the beginning of like going, well, it's not what you're like, it's what you like that defines you. That great line.
And what kind of a dancer were you?
Oh, horrific. I mean, unbelievable, but like you would have to look, you wouldn't be able to take your eyes off it.
Yeah.
And we all dance in a very similar way. Like my mum, it's hands up there.
I've seen you do
but
that.
That like my mum's she had exactly the same dance.
That's so lovely.
So weird, right? I don't know what that is.
You're almost like a very timid boxer. Or
a tiny T-Rex.
Yeah, tiny
little T-Rex.
A knitting T-Rex.
Yeah.
You've kind of got that. Do you think that's why maybe that's something to do with the vinyl, that it sort of evokes your mum and it evokes that kind of, again, fun?
I think music as well as the, I love lyrics. I love, you kind of, your Elvis Costello's and your, that thing of like poetry within songs, because we don't have poetry anymore. We now have songs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of replaced that. And I love it, but I think it's the non-verbals. I think it's what songs do for you. That's because it's non-verbal communication. What even is it? It's this thing in the ether. You're listening.
It's liquid emotion, isn't it?
And and it's so universal. Someone plays the B minor, and you sort of go, "Oh yeah, it's sad when people die, though, isn't it?"
Yeah.
What?
I remember.
How is that being?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Is it? Who's the guy that wrote Captain Corelli's? Is it Louis de Bernier? He said that, massive book, and he goes, "Yeah, it's not music though, is it?" Do you know what I mean? It only works if you can read. Do you know what I mean? But you could just play the right tune, and it's like that Coldplay song, "Here Jerusalem bells are ringing."
Yeah.
And like there's just 100,000 people kind of lost in that.
Yeah, it's kind of tribal. I really think they're a really good example of someone that's. I don't know, consciously or unconsciously, but Coldplay seem to have had that thing where they go the chanty chorus.
Yeah.
That feels like tribal.
Haven't you written songs? Didn't you write a song with Robbie Williams?
Yeah, occasionally.
Okay, so I mean, that was a great answer, and then it became an incredible answer. Yeah, occasionally. What was your song?
I don't know. I think there's a couple. I don't think they were even on the album. I think like messing around. Just messing around, mates.
How do you get into that world?
Well, that was just hanging out. We were just friends, and we were like hanging out at the house.
Yeah.
I go, we should do something. I'm going to be in the studio and sort of pitching lyrics because don't sing that. Sing this.
It's funny.
Just being. I believe the term Danny Dyer used it very nicely. I met Danny. He was on our show, and he was there about half an hour before we went. Think about you, Jimmy. You're a busy cunt. I'm a busy cunt.
Yeah.
I think he's nailed me. It's like. I'm a joiner-inner. I'll always kind of go, oh, yeah, I've got an idea. I like Danny Dyer, just briefly, Danny Dyer. What a great guy.
I've never met him.
He would be the Wahlberg boy if he was in America.
Right.
Working class, tough guy in movies.
Yeah.
I don't know what, there seems to be a weird class barrier here still. It's insane.
But it's because those films they're all...
I always think if it's not for you, it's not for you.
Yeah,
that
agreed.
thing of like that sometimes you want an absolute dumb, great, just popcorn movie, perfect flick. It's interesting. People, and sometimes you want something really nutritious that's great for you. It's interesting. People are obsessed by their diets, but not their diets. Like people think about what they're eating, what they're putting in their bodies, but they don't really think about what they're listening to, what they're consuming, what they're reading in the same way. I was really kind of interested in that recently of kind of going, well, you sort of get out what you put in. And the idea of go, well, what are you listening to? What's the kind of, I really like, one of the other things I would put in the Wonder Box is, I would have called it a book on tape because of my age, but because I started listening to them when I was sort of starting as a comic. I was basically, a comic was when we started, it was a travelling salesman of jokes.
Yeah.
Because you were up and down the motorway. Yeah. Like I was like,
and particularly you, because the Southwest, there was a promoter still around, Jeff Whiting. It was kind of like the first
gig I ever did was 80 quid in Plymouth.
Yeah,
it was
the Club Fandango.
Yeah, great.
So Jeff was amazing. But kind of like yourself, Daniel Kitson, Danny Boy, Mickey Flanagan. There's loads of people that we could just get gigs with Jeff. They were just miles away.
Yeah, it was miles away, and it was always like, okay, well that's on a Tuesday. Well, great, I can work every night then.
Yeah.
Which I still like to do. I like to work all the time. But that thing of like going, you were traveling, but listening to stuff and having sort of quality, interesting things coming in. Like I'm sort of obsessed by great nonfiction.
Yes.
And so those kind of things are like the audible. Like I'm fairly dyslexic. Like it's not
Really?
debilitating, but it's like I can't really write particularly well, and I'm in really terrible spelling. Like to the point that spell check goes, I'm not even sure what you're shooting for there, mate.
Really?
Not even sure what you mean when you write it down. Yeah, I mean, I'm academically, I did very well.
Yeah.
I did all that.
Yeah.
But I'm really not great with, and I had to kind of, conjure lots of coping mechanisms to get through to that level to kind of to do well. So I find reading slightly boring because I read slower than I think.
Right.
So it's easy for the mind to wander
Yeah.
when you're reading something and you're not really consuming it at the speed that you want to.
I tell you, there's a really great non-fiction. Have you read Atomic Habits or listened to it?
Yeah.
That's a great book.
Yeah, I mean, it's superb. Superb.
I'd imagine it's right up your alley. Because you strike me as someone you're a relentless improver. That's what I would say about you, that you're always trying to sort of tinker with yourself.
I think that, I don't know about that. It's very nice of you to say.
That was true, though, isn't it?
I'm trying to be more stoic now. I'm
Right.
trying to do less better. I'm trying just to be a stand-up and to get better at stand-up.
Right.
And just to go and to try new stuff at every gig and not to let myself off the hook.
Okay.
Because there is a thing where you can sort of stop writing for sort of 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
And just tour and go, well, I'm doing these dates. I've got this show. It works. Just knock it out.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing of like, I try and do new stuff.
Yeah.
Every single show.
Do you?
Try and do, at the end
And
end of every gig, get a bit of paper out and go, right, let's try these.
Okay.
And it's for me, it's not so much that moment on stage. It's what it made you do that day. It made you, okay, let's have a look.
I tend to do all my new stuff at the top, and I'll sort of blend it into the place. Like we were in, like, I did Aberystwyth in the Isle of Man, and I was just going to spend a couple of days there and sort of like noticed a few things and sort of slung those in. You go, oh, there might be something in that. But I would never do it at the end because you've sort of built to this.
That's a slightly different thing. I do that much more outside of the UK. Sorry, this is really.
Mate, it's
is
fine.
it boring for other people?
No, it's fine.
But what I do is if I tour, like I tour the rest of the world, if I do 40 other countries, I do that if I'm in Vilnius. I'll write some Vilnius bits, and some I'm here and what's going on, and but I won't do that particularly in Plymouth or Aberystwyth.
Yeah,
I'll just
it's weird, isn't it?
But I'll go. I'm just going to knock out. I know this. This is UK stuff. This is going to be fine.
But I'm trying to do, because I'm exactly the same. I've got like 20 minutes of like gold for Denmark, but I can't do it anywhere other than Denmark.
But I'm 11 cities deep in Denmark. I'm big in Denmark.
Yeah,
But
it's great, isn't it? It's
I mean, those places are like, if you can be bothered to go, people will come out and see you. People want to come and see live comedy. But it's also that thing like language. It feels like the English language. Why don't we sling a dictionary in your Wonderbox? Because the English language it's extraordinary and it's only getting bigger. It's like it's become, because it was like people used to speak pretty good English, and then YouTube came along and went, I tell you what, there's no more version original.
Yeah.
It's all version original because it used to be some countries dubbed.
Yeah.
France and Germany dubbed. So they dubbed it into so they had their Jerry Seinfeld doing the voiceover. They had their people, their Stallone.
Yeah.
That's all gone now. Because it comes out because people are watching clips on the Instagram and it's not dubbed. No one's paying for the dubbing, so it just everyone's English goes up a gear.
And there's so much majesty in the English version of foreign phrases. There's so much comedy in that, and you don't realise. Like where were we? We were in Finland, and I didn't realise how horrifying and terrifying the phrase "pussyfooting" sounds. If you've never heard the phrase pussyfooting.
Yeah, pussyfooting is bad, yeah.
But it sounds like you're about to do something ungodly.
Well, I mean, I always thought gobshite was a phrase that wasn't that rude.
Yeah.
He's a gobshite. I mean, my mum would often go, he's a fucking gobshite. But stop and think.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds some Germanic porn there.
But that's the great thing, isn't it? Is when you get to stop and think. And I think there's something about gigging in foreign countries. You're like mooching around like Vienna, and you I don't know, for whatever reason, your powers of observation, I think everyone has
this. Of course.
You're just sort of drifting, you go, oh, that's quite weird. And then being able to go on stage and chat about it is the best.
Yeah. But I mean, I suppose that's again, it's a microcosm of what stand-up is.
Yeah.
It's noticing what's weird. Yeah. What's weird around here. Creativity, like the idea of being, so a lot of people listening to this want to be creative, want to do something creative. I think that's the aspiration of lots of people. I think you have to be willing to be bored.
You know, it's the key, isn't it? Like, think of the oceans of hours we spent on walls thinking, waiting to get picked up by your mum, and your brain you don't have a Walkman, you don't have like an iPod, you don't have a comic book. You just sat there entertaining yourself.
Yeah.
Mouth breathing on a wall. That was me.
Yes.
Just hours just sat there.
But I think those moments still exist in like when people like I like driving for that reason. For like, because driving you're busy, but then the radio's on, or the discipline to turn that off and just be alone with your thoughts.
I was at an airport the other day and I was sort of looking at everybody and everyone was on their phone, and it was just that thing where you go, wow, imagine like 20 years ago, what would everyone have been doing? Would everyone presumably reading? Maybe it's having a chat, but it was so noticeable that you're like, how can you possibly compete? How can a human being compete with a phone that holds everything?
Yes,
it's really kind of...
It's sort of, and as well, it's reflecting us back.
Yeah.
It's very much kind of the narcissist myth, but we're not looking in a pond, we're looking in a phone. We're looking at this thing just constantly, and it's reflecting back, and it's kind of, we're forgetting to...
It's mind-blowing, isn't it? There was a...
People keep on talking about this thing about social media. Oh, we've got to get kids, you've got to get them off Instagram, you can't have them on Twitter. And you go, what about adults?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Never mind the kids.
Yeah.
Never mind the kids. They'll take care of themselves.
Yeah.
They've got years. What about us? We've got to get off it.
Yeah, but it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's when you get in that weird loop of just looking at the same shit all the time and then getting wound up by it. There was
or checking BBC News. I better just quickly check BBC. We've been chatting a long time. I better check BBC News in case anyone needs me.
Yeah.
In case anything's happened. And they need old Jim.
Well, we were there. Where were we? I think we were in Hong Kong, and the notification came through that David Bowie had died. And it was an amazing, unbelievably sad, but it was so fascinating that everyone suddenly was in the same mood of sadness. And it's sort of that thing where sometimes there's news that's really profound. Sometimes there's news that just comes in because your phone knows your buttons to push and just goes, meh, and it's a little story. They're going, have you seen this? This will piss you off.
Yeah, it's an odd thing. I don't know. I don't think it does us that much good because you sort of, and you run out of compassion as well. You hear about these stories and it's the detail that breaks your heart.
Yeah.
But the numbers are just,
man.
You can't get your head around it.
What's the next thing?
What else are we putting in? Maybe we should put in the Edinburgh Fringe programme.
Okay.
Because when that used to arrive.
Yeah.
And then... So you get this Edinburgh Fringe Festival. There's like post World War II, they set up a festival in Scotland called the Edinburgh Festival, unsurprisingly. And then a Fringe Festival, which was like non-official, started on the side of it going, well, we'll put on our own shows at the side and you don't have to be invited. You don't have to be any good. Just put on a show.
And that's where we come in.
And that's when, good evening. And now there's like a free Fringe, which is an even more, it's that again. Yeah. It's unbelievably good. I wish I'd heard about it. I hope someone listening to this is hearing about it for the first time. Don't go to Spain next year, because why are you going to Spain? You want to have fun. If you want to have fun, go to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
That's where fun is made.
Yeah.
It's so great. When that programme landed, and then you would go, right, I'll go and see that, and that, because I've heard of them. I've seen them on telly.
Yeah.
They're good. And then if they were good, you could they'd be sort of your gateway drug.
Yeah.
They would be your marijuana to get you to the venue. And then at the venue, someone will give you a flyer.
Yeah.
And go, do you want to come and see this? And you go, oh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'll check that out. And sometimes it would be terrible.
Yeah.
And it was that wonderful thing of like, I don't know your experience early on, but my experience early on, but sometimes you would see, I remember seeing Pub International, it was Al Murray,
that's
the pub
Harry
landlord,
Hill.
and Harry Hill was doing the show.
Yeah.
But Harry I only had like 40 minutes to joke, so Al did the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And as that character was invented for that.
Yeah.
I saw it and just thought, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's it's superb.
Yeah,
I loved every minute of it. And then I went to see some stuff that was absolute dog shit. I mean, awful. And it made me kind of go, oh, maybe I could try this.
Yeah,
maybe I could be funny. I'd be funnier than them, not as funny as them.
It's the blend, isn't it? Of like one of my kind of big moments. I remember seeing Daniel Kitson at the BBC. Remember the BBC late comedy show they used to do in the Dome, and he was sort of just riffing off of Adam Hills, and it was kind of like Kitson and his pomp, and it, we've all got those gigs. Anthony
Bourdain always used to have this thing of like going, don't just go there and go to where I went.
Yeah.
Have your own adventure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with the Edinburgh Festival. It's like, no, go and have your own adventure. Go and do your thing. Mm-hmm. Because I'm kind of, the Edinburgh Festival for me now, I went back one night because we had to reschedule a thing, so I went back one night and did a gig. But I feel like it's not really for me anymore. I've been a little bit like, am I too established for that?
You've been doing arenas as well in Australia.
When demand, I think I might stick some arenas in at the end of the next one. I think they're really fun. I remember you saying to me years ago, "Oh, dude, it's an event. It really feels," and I do feel like at the end of a tour, when it's absolutely tight as a drum, then that's the time to kind of go, and it's more of a like people being in that big room and like being in the audience in that big room as well. As long as you connect and people are laughing, then I think it can be really special.
Yeah, and there's certain venues like the Albert Hall. It's technically not an arena, but that feeling when you kind of walk in, Jesus, you really feel it as an audience member or as a performer. You're like, wow, it's so.
Is there something about kind of being amongst friends as well? Like that thing when you go and see a band or whatever, and everyone there is like, yeah, we're all here because we love this.
I tell you what's really interesting as well is when they do the yonder and they take the phones away. That, not from a, hey, don't record it content point of view, but it just...
People having the first conversation with their wife in 10 years.
But you're there. You've got no other option. So
turns out she lost her job at Woolworths. Yeah, exactly. I had no idea.
but it's, and Woolworths is under and all. But it's that thing that you realise they're so focused, and you are so. Look, it's when we went to watch Chappelle. Do you remember that? They kind of took our phones away. That was one of my favourite memories at Montreal. It was years. It was just before the kind of rebirth of Dave Chappelle, and me and Jim went at Montreal. And he has a DJ and he has a hype man. He gets everyone up, And everyone was fine. They were dancing, and you and me were like, I'm not sure about this. And we were trying to kind of dance, and then Dave came out and said, "Everyone, relax, sit down, take a seat." And you're like, "We would have been fucking sat down, but your mate made us stand up." Really got me. Would you ever have a hype man? I'd fucking love you to have a hype man.
Yeah,
just a bloke with a violin. Get up, you cunt! And then you roll on. Listen, we've got to go. But
we do have to go. I think we've covered everything.
We've covered everything. But what's interesting about your box, clearly, it's full of. You're a real connoisseur of excellence. That's what it is. You like excellent things.
I don't know. Is that the unifying? What did we put in? We put in a tennis scoreboard.
Yeah.
We put in a coffee machine, a perfect suit.
But tennis was about flow state. Yeah, it was about finding
a record player. That thing, I mean, again, books on tape, Audible, Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
You want the best ideas, you want the best sport, you want the best suit, you want the best coffee.
The most fun.
And the most fun. That's what you're searching for.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carr.
I'll let you know
Jimmy
how I get
Carr
along.
Wants Fun. That's the book.
Yeah.
It's a red Lamborghini. It's you led on it, blue shorts. and it just says something to wake you up and fuck you up. There you go. That was so amazing. Thanks, man.
Easiest thing in the world.
Joy.